this edition of INN CEO Talks, I'm joined by Karim Rayani of Marvel Discovery, and we're talking about uranium. Karim, welcome.
Stuart, always a pleasure.
Nice to have you back. You promised that you would come back at about this time to bring us up to date. You had a lot going on when I last talked to you, and you've just signed a deal that you've issued a press release on. Tell us about that deal.
So I think, the two hottest commodities in this environment right now is battery metals, lithium, nickel, and energy, having to do with uranium and, how the world is going to really, power, electricity, to these communities. And, those are really the hottest topics, driving, this space right now. This market is very reminiscent of 2008. You look at the TSX Venture, Composite Index. It's not pretty, but I do believe that there is opportunities in this market. I think that we're oversold, and to pick a bottom is never easy. However, I really do think that this is probably one of the best times that anyone can be looking at this business, more so now than ever.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. The move to electrification means that we need all of these essential metals. And uranium is going to play an increasingly important role because without it, we're not going to be able to generate the power that's required to charge up all those batteries and do everything else that we want. So the demand for uranium, both in North America and globally, is on the rise, or we're at the cusp of that demand about to peak or hit.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So this deal, please tell us about this deal that you've just signed.
So, it's very important to keep this in mind that when we entered the uranium space, we did this about 5 years ago, in the Athabasca Basin, which is one of the world's richest sources for high-grade uranium. You've got Millennium, you've got Wheeler, you've got MacArthur, you've got Cigar. We are in the same trend, same camp that flows directly down towards the mining mill. So for the same, all within 15 to 20 kilometers of the Key Lake mine complex, right off Highway 914, we could not pick a better area to drill. We've done extensive work over the last few years, kind of slowly expanding our land holdings. But the most recent acquisition is tied on to Athabasca, which just announced 5,000 meter program of drilling. They had mineralization, uranium, all throughout the core. We're directly tied onto that. We're tied onto Cameco, F3, which was formerly Fission, and essentially what we're doing now is getting our permitting in on that project, so we'll be able to drill that. The property just below we have is the KLR and highway zone. We completed a program last year, 2,000 meters, radon readings, consistent radiation all throughout the core. In some cases, our numbers are as good, or if not better, than NextGen's Arrow deposit. So, now we're gonna, our first program was going, down to the 200 meter level, and now we're going to be going down to about 400 meters, and do another, 10 to 15 holes, starting in, probably the second or third week of November.
So, when are you anticipating that you're going to get results?
Well, if we complete the program by Christmas, it'll probably be February, March by the time we get the results back. Mm-hmm. I guess some key points on this project is we've already hit 1% to 2% uranium at surface. The property is situated in a way where, because we're at the bottom of the basin, we're able to save about 200 to 300 meters drilling into the sandstone because we're kind of already past it. Most of the projects that are further north are drilling down to 800, 1,000, 1,200 meters. So this is not cheap drilling, but we've done a fair amount of work, kind of prepping and defining our targets. I'll touch on one other thing just off the uranium because we are going to be drilling at least 2, if not 3 projects over this winter. We also have a nickel project in Quebec, 1 to 2% nickel at surface, known as the Duhamel. We're currently prepping the roads right now and doing our pads for the drill locations. And then in central Newfoundland, we're also tied on to newfound gold. Now, gold is not really one of those things that anyone's really talking about these days because the volatility. However, we've got battery metals, we've got uranium, and we've got holdings tied onto newfound gold in central Newfoundland. So, it's really a trifecta of what you're really getting in Marvel in today's current share price.
So for investors who are looking at you right now and may have looked at you in the past, let's remind them about the structure of your company because you're very well positioned.
We've got about 120 million shares out. I'm currently the largest shareholder, probably just above 10, 11, maybe 12%. Insiders hold another few percent. Institutions are probably about 10 to 15% of our float. And then high net worth retail is the balance. We are trading probably at our 52-week lows, just based on the market sentiment out there. Our share price has gone up about 30 to 40% in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. Really where we kind of were before. We dipped down there for a short period. However, we're nowhere near our trading highs. So there's a lot of value that that's presented here at these levels.
One other thing that I want to talk about, I was just reading one of your press releases. You've just staked an additional 3,400 hectares of prospective claims at your KLR-Walker uranium project. Tell me, why have you expanded that claim and what's it looking like?
So this ground was previously held by Cameco. If you look at where we're currently drilling at the KLR and Walker, it goes west to east, the zone. So this ground, really, looked fairly prospective. It's fairly earlier stage, but if this trend continues down dip, we'll be able to, really add some significant tonnage, and it will just add tons to our uranium resource. If and when we get there. So, all this project has all the makings of a discovery. Just based on the work that we've done, to date.
So do you believe that where you're at right now and the time at which demand for uranium is going to come back on the market is going to be like the perfect intersection for you as far as development, and then when the demand for uranium is going to hit?
I think so. I mean, I know the price of uranium has increased over the last few weeks here, obviously world events, and I won't get into this whole political debate right now, but the world really does need a different solution. What is currently out there is not going to fix the problem. You look at Europe, you look at gas, you look at diesel. All these energy sources are being cut off. So uranium is the only option in today's environment. And the two biggest things during inflation is energy and gold. Those are really the two commodities that one really wants to be positioned in. And uranium right now, there's money out there to be raised in. Gold, a lot of these gold deals are trading at all-time lows. They're diluting. It's very fortunate that we have we're a multi-commodity play, and we're just not gold, we're uranium, battery metals. So I think Marvel is going to perform extremely well, and I'm really optimistic that we're going to get some results because we've really done our homework on this zone.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty promising, and as you say, you've got drills in the ground and looking to be getting some more results here early 2024. Hopefully you'll come back and give us an update at that time.
Absolutely, Stuart.
Wonderful. Thank you.